Hi guys, in today's video I want to review for you the Fenty Match Stick. It's Fenty Beauty Match Stick in the shade Amber. I realise now that I look at the website that I probably should have got light amber, and I don't know if that was available at the time. Oh no, it's called soft amber, sorry. I don't know if that was available at the time. And I think I got this because I was watching YouTube videos and people were saying it was a good colour for cool toned skin. So this was my first venture into any kind of contour really, apart from I think I may have tried a palette years ago. But so yeah, I just wanted to review it for you. I don't use it that often because I didn't get on with it, but like a lot of things that I review, I think I maybe was a little bit harsh with my first opinions of it, so I'm kind of trying to give it another go. I suspect that my opinion will be the same of this, but I'm wanting to try it in front of you basically. So this is what it looks like. It's got the Fenty Beauty on it. It's a stick. I think it scrolls up and down. You get, it's a decent size stick actually. Like it's not too chunky and it's not too thin. You get 7.10 grams, seems like an odd amount. Which is slightly less than the Makeup by Mario. Let me show you the Makeup by Mario sort of side by side so you can see the size difference. I think it's about the same. I've got a feeling you get 9 grams as opposed to 10 grams in the Makeup by Mario. No, 10.5 grams in the Makeup by Mario, so you do get quite a lot more. But this is a better stick in my opinion for like being able to actually put it on. But then that being said, I've found myself doing it more with a brush as opposed to drawing it on, so actually the Makeup by Mario works. But anyway, I've already done a video on the Makeup by Mario which I'll link below, but I just wanted to cover the Fenty Beauty one specifically because this was my first one and because it's more of an actual contour stick. Like this is a contour colour, it's a grey toned colour. So you can see how sort of dark that is. And I think, like I say, I probably should have gone for the soft amber one in hindsight, but it is what it is. So this is the Mario sculpting, Makeup by Mario sculpting stick in light as a colour comparison. See, it's much more brown. Well, much more like soft brown, more of a bronzing colour than a sort of grey toned contour colour. I think they're both supposed to be good with cool cool skin tones, which is what I am apparently. So I have tried both, like I say, and last time I didn't get on with it, but I'm going to try it with you. I'm going to try one side by drawing it on and then trying to blend it in, and I'm going to try one side with this, like just using a brush, which is a brush that has been working for me with other things. So we'll see how it goes. So anyway, like I say, that's the swatches again. This is the Fenty Match Stick in Amber, and this is the Makeup by Mario in shade Light. So I'm going to draw it on my cheek. This is my cheekbone here, so I'm gonna go around here. See, this is the problem already I'm finding, is it's just stiff, like it's hard to get on and therefore hard to blend. But we shall see. So I'm going to try it with different types of brushes. This is a sort of hard, very dense kabuki brush that's similar to the brush on the end of the Makeup by Mario one, and I might try it with this as well depending on how it goes. But like you saw yourself how sort of hard that it is, it's hard to show on your hand, but when I put that on it just doesn't glide on, like it's not a smooth consistency. I mean I really wanted to like it, I did, but like it just doesn't blend. Or I don't find it. Like the Makeup by Mario says that you should just pat it, and I know lots of people say blend up, so I'll try that too. But to me, it just seems like it's a muddy line that I've drawn on my face that is just going to stay as a muddy line. So that is kind of blending in, but not really. Like I can still see it here. I mean, obviously it's only taken 30 seconds to do that, and maybe if I was a professional I could work this out, but it just always seems to me like you're going to end up with a muddy line there. See, I mean, that does look alright actually in the mirror, but I don't know, for me it just doesn't seem like, I don't know if I know that that's what contour is supposed to be, is the shadow, but I don't know, for me I just feel like I can still see where, and I don't think it's that it isn't blended in, I think it's doing what it's supposed to do, but, and when I look on the camera, that I quite like it looks like it's supposed to look, but when I look in the mirror, it seems to me like there's still a sort of grey blob, basically, that hasn't quite blended out. Let me try on the other side with a brush and see if that is any better. So I'm just putting some on the end of a brush. I don't know whether to try and sort of put that on my hand first or not, but I'm not going to, because that's what I wouldn't do with the other one. So I'm going to go in the same place. I really should do my makeup in a camera, because it always looks so much better when you do it on the camera to when you do it in a mirror. And actually, now I do it with a brush, that's not so bad. I'm actually not hating that. But I'm not loving it either, if I'm honest. Like, but I think it is doing what it's supposed to do, in fairness. I don't think it's the fault of the actual contour. I think it's just my personal preference is to have more of a bronzing colour in this situation. And maybe that is just because I'm new really to the like proper makeup game, and I feel like a fraud basically trying to put a dark colour on, whereas I've always used bronzer and that feels more natural. So to have like something that's adding colour to your face doesn't seem weird, whereas something that's adding like a dark tone to your face does seem weird. But then now I look at that, that is doing what it's supposed to do. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe actually I should just convert and accept that I need to do an actual contour, because I do quite like that actually now that I say it. Now I need to stop though, because otherwise I'm going to keep going. See, on this side, maybe I have just blended it away, and maybe I've put too much on this side. What do you think? See, now normally I would go over this with you know, some powder to sort of soften it up, because I definitely feel like this is better, because you don't have that fear of there being a line that you're going to be left with. And that is my main fear, is that you're going to see where I've drawn on a line. Like a lot of them look like the Victoria Beckham one, she just sort of shows herself like buffing it in, which must mean, I'm hoping to try it at some point, it's a better, like a more liquidy consistency, whereas this one is quite rigid, quite tough to blend basically. So I'm going to try again with the brush on this side, because I also do think that my face is different on both sides. This is just the Real Techniques. It's actually a foundation brush, but I find that it works really well with like contours and blushes and things you want to blend out on the cheek, because it's quite dense but also sort of wide, so it, I don't know, somehow feels like it works for me. See, actually, I do quite like that now that I do it again. I think I've put a little bit too much on, probably both sides really, and I think a lot of that is kind of learning what works for me. But what I have found when I've tried to do it with bronzer is that it tends to actually make my face look fuller, whereas it's supposed to make it look slimmer, and I do think that has made my face look slimmer. So now I'm a little bit confused, if I'm honest, because I don't know why that would make a difference. I don't know why bronzer would, because it's still the same, it's still dark versus light. Anyway, that's not really the point. So yeah, that has actually gone back in much better, and it was the same with the Makeup by Mario actually. Like just trying to draw it on just did not work for me. I mean, it might be because I put powder on earlier in the day. I have just sprayed my face with like a mist, you know, a moisture misting thing to try and make, you know, that not be a problem. But actually now I blend that in, I think that is pretty good. And maybe the key is to put like bronzer over the top. In fact, I might try that now. I'm just going to put some powder over to diffuse it a little bit. Just using the Beauty Pie One Powder Wonder. Just to, because otherwise I find it a bit scary. And I do think that's a little bit too scary still on that side. Yeah, it's a little bit too scary still on that side. But I'll try it with some bronzer over the top. This is the Victoria Beckham bronzing brick. And maybe that is the key, actually. Do the contour underneath and then bronzer over the top to sort of soften it a bit. I actually do think that's the key. This is good. I've actually discovered something. Well, to be fair, I discover lots of things whilst doing these videos. So anyway, back to the Fenty matchstick. It is in the shade Amber. Like I say, it was £25 when I bought it. I think it's £20 at the moment. Most places sell it. I don't know, that is quite expensive, but it's not as expensive as the Makeup by Mario. That was £32, but you do get more. It also has a lot of shades. I think it's got 9 shades in this, which is really good, I think. Especially for a contour, because you don't tend to get lots of shades normally with a contour. So I actually came into this video thinking I was going to be negative about it, but actually I've realised that I actually really like it, so thank you. Anyway, that's it from me. If you have any questions about this product or any other products that I've reviewed, or you want me to do any specific videos, then please let me know. If you've liked this video in any way, then please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.